As we told you early in the show, Democratic infighting, a civil war is intensifying tonight as the far-left radical progressive party is doubling down. They're saying no infrastructure deal without the massive $3.5 trillion reconciliation package to go along with it. They tried again to sneak amnesty in it. Senator Manchin, West Virginia, fired back at a statement today calling the trillions in spending, quote, fiscal insanity. Let's see if he holds the line. Here to react to all of this. He's the author 10 solid weeks in a row, #1 on the New York Times list, American Marxism. Over 1 million copies sold, 1.5 million in print. He hosts Life, Liberty, and Levin right here on the Fox News channel. #1 in his slot, nationally syndicated radio show host. Man, your introduction's getting too long. I just call him the Great One. Thank me. God bless us. How am I? You know, Mark, we both have gone over this bill with a fine-tooth comb. They even have a mileage tax in this thing. 2,465 pages. You know, your book's called American Marxism. That's exactly what you warned about. This is and you have chapter 7, your last chapter, over 10,000 words. It gives us the answer. How do you stop this?
First of all, I want people to know this is what 2,500 pages looks like. That is in one bill. And I would ask the American people, do you have any idea what's in this bill? Most of you don't, because the press isn't really telling you, other than a few platitudes. Sean, what I would like to hit on are the lies that we're getting about the debt, about the default, because the Democrats in every one of these debates tries to scare the hell out of the American people. We're going to default on our debt, says Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, says the hacks around Biden, says Nancy Pelosi. We're not going to default on our debt. Let me go through this very quickly. And by the way, I had a caller to my radio show and said, hey, look, if the $5.5 trillion is all paid for at no cost, why are we raising the debt ceiling anyway? So in other words, if the lie is that this isn't going to cost us anything, it's all paid for, why is there even a debate about raising the debt ceiling? The government won't default on debt service because that's what we're talking about. Folks, listen to me carefully. The tax revenue continues. We get about $320 billion in a month, the federal government does, all forms of federal taxation and user fees. And yet the debt service is a little over $44 billion a month. 320, 44. There is way more than enough to pay for the debt service. You've been hearing Democrats, you've been hearing fools on TV say things like, this is to pay for Trump spending. No, it's not. Raising the debt ceiling is for future spending on future programs. It's not for past programs. Raising the debt ceiling is about future spending. Now, also, they talk about Social Security. The way it works is, if we do not have an increase in the debt ceiling, and you have $320 billion coming in, the first amount of money is to pay the debt service, $44 billion a month. Then Social Security and Medicare are paid as a matter of federal statute. Federal pensions are paid. And then beyond a few more, then the politicians have to work out the rest of which is paid. Oh, isn't that too bad? They're only getting $4 trillion a year, but they want a lot more. So I'm just making the point that the debt, that the credit on the debt, the full faith and credit of the United States cannot be violated unless the Treasury Secretary and the President do it purposely, which is a violation of federal law and the federal Constitution. But here's what I think the Democrats are going to do. The Democrats want to put in place the most massive social engineering and welfare state in world history. They want to turn your lives inside out and upside down. They want to draw all concentration of power from you, your family, your faith, your county, your town, your state, into Washington, D.C. So what are they going to do? I think they'll agree to lower the amount, but they'll still have all this stuff in this 2,500-page bill so that they can enshrine and put in place these things. They don't really care about the debt. So people like Manchin and perhaps Sinema can say, see, we lowered the amount of money. I hope that doesn't happen, but we'll see. One other thing. Democrats, people in the media are saying, Biden should act on his own under the 14th Amendment. We have so many constitutional ignoramuses on TV, it's unbelievable. The 14th Amendment says the validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law, including debts incurred for payment of pensions and bounties for services, in suppressing insurrection or rebellion shall not be questioned. In other words, you have to pay the debt service. This doesn't give the power to the President of the United States to take over the power of the purse. Article 1, Section 8, Clause. You see, this is a smart audience. This isn't MSNBC. This isn't CNN. This isn't the networks. This is Fox. It says the Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, excises to pay the debts and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States. That's a core duty of Congress. The next section says the Congress shall have power to borrow money on the credit of the United States. So when you have guys like Clyburn and others saying, Joe Biden should just say, I can't let the United States default on its debt and exercise the 14th Amendment, understand these people are incredibly stupid. Because, again, they're not going to default on the debt. Social Security will be paid. Medicare will be paid. The pensions will be paid. And what the Democrats really want is an open checkbook to spend whatever they want. And to the Republicans' credit, they've said no. Now, here's another example of things that are going on.
Real quick, Mark.
Betty McCauley points out there's billions and billions of dollars in this bill for these left-wing community activist groups. This bill needs to be killed. I don't care what the cost is, it needs to be killed.
You're supposed to say, that's it, I'm done. Thank me.
I forgot. Yes.
All right, but don't forget, watch a Mark show, Life, Liberty, Levin, Sunday nights, 8 o'clock, right here on Fox. Don't miss his radio show, weekdays, 6 to 9 Eastern. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.